Is it commanded that we tithe? Let's find out. Welcome to Carolina Christian. My name is Ernie. Good to have you with us today. If this is your first time here, welcome. Like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and you'll get notified as soon as a new video comes out. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. We hope you're enjoying the series on tithing, the history of, and whether we should or not. So let's take a look. Let's pick up where we left off last time. Last time, Abram had gone to get Lot, bring back all the family members and all the stuff with Lot. And so upon his victory over the captors of Lot, stops by Salem, and he gives a tenth of the portions of the spoils to Melchizedek, and then the rest he gives to those who went to help him fight the battle, as well as giving the rest to Sodom, because he didn't want anything for himself. He just wanted to give it all away. So where does that leave us now? Well, if we were to fast forward on through, we see tithes being used throughout the Old Testament and New Testament. Now it is mentioned, grant you, it is mentioned 40 times throughout the Bible. So we're not going to use all 40 of those scriptures. Actually, they're in the descriptions below. So if you want to do your own tithe study, everywhere that it is mentioned, okay, every instance is in the description below. Doesn't mean that that's all that there is about tithing and giving, though. So don't let that word be your end-all study, okay? But to answer what some questions have been, we had one particular person pop up and say, hey, the people were never commanded to pay tithes, so we don't have to pay tithes. That was just for the priest. I'm like, well, it's not exactly how I was raised and how I was taught the word. So I just want to give you a couple scriptures, let you run with it. Now we know that that was, Abraham was in Genesis 14. If you go to Genesis 28, you see Jacob later, he will give a tithe. He will make a vow, place a stone, and he says he's going to give a tithe of all of his increase. But then over in 2 Chronicles 31, and we take a look at verse 4, it says, moreover, he commanded the people who dwelt in Jerusalem to contribute support for the priests and the Levites, that they might devote themselves to the law of the Lord, the Levites. As soon as the commandment was circulated, the children of Israel, the people, brought in abundance the first fruits of grain and wine, oil, honey, and all the produce of the field, and they brought in abundantly the tithe of everything. So it was directed towards the people to support. Now, here's the thing, is that wasn't the only tithe. That was a tithe of the Levites, tithe of the priests. There was also a temple tithe, to support the temple itself. There was also a poverty tithe. So really, all in all, as far as tithing was concerned, what I've been taught, it was about 23.3%, and that's awful precise, isn't it? But actually it was a little bit more than that. But that's what has been kind of configured for tithing in general. Now here's the thing, is that you can't have a tithing video without Malachi. Malachi is the, I guess, end-all in tithing whenever it comes to teaching tithes, especially whenever I was growing up, and even today, churches today, they'll go straight to Malachi. And whenever a pastor goes to Malachi, it's for certain that the people go, oh, he's going to teach on tithing again. He's wanting us to give more money. We must not be giving enough. Well, don't let it be a burden. And if your pastor does it right, he won't be preaching to you, but he'll be teaching to you. He'll be teaching for you to uplift you and encourage you and help you to be more well-rounded when it comes to giving. And that's really what he wants. He wants the best for you. So it all comes down to Malachi. Malachi asks the question, or should I say God asks the questions through Malachi. Will a man rob God? Yet you have robbed me. But you say, in what way have we robbed you? And then God says, in tithes and offerings. So you are cursed with a curse, for you have robbed me, even this whole nation. And the whole nation is the people. So it is obvious that the people is expected to give tithes. So it wasn't just for these particular instances and what have you, but it was commanded for everyone to give tithes. So in that, we also see the blessing that if you tithe, okay, God says this. It says, listen, if you bring all the tithes into the storehouse, there may be food in my house, and try me now in this, says the Lord of hosts, if I will not open for you the windows of heaven and pour out for you such blessing that there will not be enough room for you to receive it. In other words, the more you give, the more God will give you. So in this, yes, we are commanded, but what about today? Are we commanded to tithe today? What does God expect from us today? We'll find out in the next video when we'll wrap up and see what Jesus thinks about tithing and how much should you really give. This is Ernie from Carolina Christian, hoping you have a blessed and glorious day. Remember to keep looking up, keep your eyes on Him. God bless.